Bandidos, Tux here. Today I bring you a 6 skill tier hybrid skill build, and like anything else you've seen,
hostile killed.
With it, you'll be able to one-shot, chain kill everything in your path, while your skills are obliterating the field. On top of that, you're gonna get power-ups, automatic reloads, armor on kill, and bonus armor. And it's your lucky day, because I'm gonna show you how to make it. Let's do it. So this is a really unique and effective hybrid skill build for you. Hey, by the way, if you didn't know, I got a playlist on my YouTube channel that hosts all the best hybrids in the game. That's where this one will live, so be sure to check out that playlist when you get a sec. I'll be sure to put a link below in the description. And I want you to know there's several different ways you can actually run this build, so feel free to tune it to your style, but it's really, really effective. I will be providing some alternate options depending on what type of content that you play. So to demonstrate how effective this build is, I'm gonna be soloing this checkpoint at Roosevelt Island on legendary difficulty with all 5 directives. And we're gonna make this look like we're playing on challenging. We're gonna breeze through it with this build. Let's jump into the build details.
Entering dog zone.
Here we go, Bandidos. This is what the build looks like, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's built on 4 pieces of Hotshot, which is a marksman rifle gear set. Now, I hacked this thing into a skill build, but before we jump into that, so you know, 2 pieces are giving you marksman rifle damage, and we get weapon handling at 30%, which is huge, and big numbers for that headshot damage at 30%, and we get the talent headache, which has just about everything you need. So consecutive headshots are gonna earn you more weapon damage, 10% armor on kill, and once you're full there, you're gonna get bonus armor on kill up to 50% of your current armor value. And then the 3rd consecutive headshot will refill the magazine, and from that point forward, each headshot kill is gonna give you all those bonuses at the same time. But missing will reset that cycle, but we have an answer for that. We have 2 answers for that. Hang tight. So we got a skill tier, skill damage, and armor on kill mod. What? That's crazy. Okay, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Now I'm running the backpack. So this is opening up a talent called Bless. Agents can miss a headshot before resetting the cycle. So that's gonna allow you to maintain your bonus armor, damage buffs, armor on kill, as well as that auto reload. Basically, you can miss every other shot and preserve your cycle from headache. Now this one's got a skill tier, skill damage, and another armor on kill. What the heck is going on? Hey, this isn't God rolled, so there's more damage to be reaped with this build. All right, the gloves are gonna look the same, skill tier, and I got some skill damage there. The knees are God rolled skill damage and skill tier. Okay, first off, you're probably wondering how I got these pieces. Just so you know, gear sets are one of the easiest things to farm because you only have 1 attribute. So basically, you can go to countdown and set your targeted loot to Hotshot and then farm it until you get skill damage at whatever percentage on your pieces. Then go back to the crafting bench and re-roll the core attribute to a skill tier. You can also craft Hotshot, and for many of these lower rolls, that's how I got them. I just went to the crafting bench and I crafted until I got this. That's a very fast way to get this gear. Totally recommend doing that. Okay, the holster is an exotic, so I decided to do something different. Again, there's multiple ways to run this build, but this is pretty effective because we are playing from cover with this one. Okay, so we got skill tier, skill damage, skill haste, and this is teeter-tottering 30% skill damage to both of your skills. Very powerful little piece, especially if you're playing from cover. And the chest piece is the Chainkiller. You don't have to run this, but it works. So I got skill tier, weapon handling, headshot damage, and another armor on kill mod. Perfect headhunter. So that's gonna give us 1,250% headshot kill bonus, weapon damage bonus from the last headshot kill. As long as you have 150% headshot damage. And if you look, we're way over that minimum. We're just shy of 60,000 armor on kill. That's almost 10% armor on kill. Let's talk about these mods. So first, let's start off with a question. So what are your options for mods on a build like this or a headshot build? And keep in mind, you're playing from cover and you're chain killing. So you can put on headshot damage mods here, except do you really need any more damage if you're already chain killing? You can put skill haste here, but are you really worried if your skills go down since, again, you're chain killing and not overly relying on any one of your skills? You got skill duration, but same question. Are you relying on your skills that much that you're worried about the duration? You have protection from elites, which is okay, but you're playing from cover, so protection from elites that important for a cover-based build, it's not the worst thing. So none of those are wrong answers. You can put any of those mods on this build. But for me, I took a look at, hey, what does the build actually need? We got fast time to kill, so a little more fast time to heal would be great. But I didn't want to take away anything from the build by running other forms of armor on kill or repair skills. For example, you could put a repair drone on your build and get really strong heals because you got 6 skill tiers, except we're running the waveform, which is teeter-tottering damage. So we'd be wasting that, and we'd be wasting all the skill damage mods as well. So that's just a big waste to the build. And then if you try to run something like Bellstone for 1% armor regen on your chest, that's not a bad option. It's just not going to be very fast. So you get it. Let's swing back to the armor on kill mods. Now, these aren't very popular mods at all. I mean, I rarely break them out. I think I only have one other build where I've used the armor on kill mods on, and it was also a skill build. So the mods are fixed armor on kill, as you can see, just shy of 19,000. And we prefer the percentage armor on kill variants if we can, but this is still a percentage. It just doesn't scale with your build. Either way, so it's just shy of 10% armor on kill. But this is the thing, your skills can activate armor on kill. So when your skills, which are hitting really good, by the way, when they're out there killing things, they're earning that armor on kill for you. And you're chain killing like a beast, so you're earning your own armor on kill. So basically, you got 3 things earning armor on kill for you that can all happen at the same time. Your drone can get a kill, your turret can get a kill, and your rifle can get a kill all at the same time. In that instance, you will have 30% armor on kill almost. But wait, we're not done. That's bonus armor on kill because your gear set is giving you 10% armor on kill, but that's only weapon based. And that's why the armor on kill mods are nice, because they can be earned by anything that can kill on your build. But the gear set's armor on kill and bonus armor on kill can only be activated from your weapon, which is okay because you're chain killing. So for me, it just allowed me to play a little bit more aggressive, to kill fast and to heal fast. And that's the combination that I love in this game.
Hey Bandidos, the community we have built together wouldn't have been possible without you. So as a thank you for supporting my channel, I am bringing you the hookup on member perks, including even more Division 2 content and the celebrated gaming music playlists. If you're not part of Tux's Players Club, now is your chance.
Okay, back to the main part of the build. Okay, so the primary weapon that I'm running is the White Death. You definitely don't have to run the White Death, but yeah, it's a good one. It's got high base damage. Mine's got some expertise. You don't need that, okay, because this is a very strong weapon. But I'm running the digital scope, and that's unlocked by Sharpshooter. And this is a good scope because it doesn't increase your reload time like the alternates do. And this thing already reloads kind of slow. So this really is the best scope for it, or go no scope, which we did that too. Anyway, stability mod here and reload speed. I got damage to targets out of cover. The White Death gives you more headshot damage than you would get on an alternate. And then we got good accuracy, stability, and I'm running determined. So that's the second answer. Remember earlier I said you lose headache when you miss shots, but we have 2 answers for that issue. Well, the first answer is the backpack talent. The second answer is the weapon talent. This is not a damage talent. It's a forgiveness talent. It allows you to hit your targets center mass on the foot, in their backpack, whatever, and it still will count as a headshot kill. Now, there's a mechanic to this. You first have to activate it with the headshot kill. Every shot that point forward will be considered a headshot kill when you land on any part of the enemy. If you don't want determined, if you're comfortable not running determined and not worried about a headache activating as much, you could also run the future talent here and put your skills on overcharge. But you know, I'm just not a big fan of overcharge. There's a cooldown on it, and when it activates might not be a convenient time. So I'd rather have something that makes me a more effective killer. I really like Sharpshooter on this build. You can run Technician if you want to, but the TAC 50 is a really good weapon. Plus you're getting more damage on your build to your primaries in the form of headshot damage and more stability and target acquisition speed. Those are a big deal for snipers. I'd rather have that than just more skill damage, to be honest with you. But if you decided to run Technician, you could put on a red core. So all you're really doing is swapping damage stats and sort of coming out at the same place, give or take, except you would be losing that weapon handling attribute from Sharpshooter and the TAC 50 itself, which is pretty darn powerful. And you do use it with this setup. The TAC 50 is easier to use than the Nemesis, but I do have the Nemesis as a backup for those really tanky targets, you know, like Chungas and named bosses. So when those guys come, I typically pull out the Nemesis, but if I have a full stack of Headhunter on my primary weapon, then I'll use that too. Sometimes it'll take more than one shot on heavy named bosses. If you did decide to run Technician, I didn't test it on this build, but that would give you more damage to tech. So if you're going to use this in Legendary, it's not the worst idea, but you're going to want that Nemesis definitely as a backup weapon if you decide to go that way. And that's because of the mechanics. So here's the fastest way to get to the strongest point on this build. What you're going to want to do is whip out your TAC 50 once you earn some ammo, which after your first control point, you should be loaded up, and it's really easy to maintain full specialization ammo with this build. It's going to drop all over the place for you because of all the headshot kills you're getting. But if you don't have ammo on your TAC 50, you can use the Nemesis to kick it off. What you're going to want to do is get one headshot kill using your heavy weapon, whatever, on an elite, on a non-elite. That'll just depend on what content you're playing at that time. If you're playing in Legendary, start with a non-elite of some sort. On Heroic, you could probably go straight for an elite. Whatever, get that one kill, whether it takes you 1 or 2 shots. And then from there, you're gonna have Headhunter fully activated. Switch over to your White Death, get another headshot kill. Now you have Determined activated, and now you're on your way to be able to land shots anywhere on the body, and that's gonna allow you to clear content extremely quickly. Whether it's on Legendary or Heroic, this is a content clearer. Directives or not. We do have the cool skills directive active this season, but that's not a big deal because again, you're not overly reliant on either of your skills, and the cooldowns rarely overlap besides the first time you use your skill and activate cool skills. So I never really found that to be a nuisance. Also, because we're playing from cover, Pistolero is not a nuisance either. You don't even need to acquire ammo using your pistol. Just stay in cover and you're gonna earn ammo automatically thanks to the specialization Sharpshooter. So let's look at the skills. The damage numbers are gonna fluctuate because of that holster, but it's over 100,000 somewhere. I got skill haste, damage, and health mod. I'm running the drone. You want to make sure you have your duration mod there. You have a damage mod and a health mod. And again, the damage is going to fluctuate on this as well. So this build is a ton of fun. I told you I'd give you some alternates. So I'm not going to visualize the alternates, so I'm just going to explain them. But one of the alternates you can do is actually take off the exotic waveform holster, run Hotshot there instead, and run the Memento backpack. I actually found in Legendary Group that I preferred the Memento backpack. Now that might sound surprising to you because I know people have been whispering in your ear that the Memento isn't good for group. However, right off the bat in Legendary Group, you're able to chain kill with this build, even without any Memento trophies on your backpack. But of course, because you're lethal and taking things out with one shot and got very strong skills that are gonna be killing for you, you're gonna fill your backpack trophies up real quickly, and it's very easy to maintain them. But if for any reason you lose your backpack trophies because maybe you die hard, it's not a big deal. A lot of people don't realize this, but sniping in Legendary is actually easier than sniping in Heroic, and that's because there's less elites in Legendary. Although the general health pool is higher, you still got more non-elites, veterans, and normals than you do elites. Even if you have a hard time one-shot killing elites, there's just not that many of them for you to be really interested in altering your build for that sake. But if you do have that issue, you have some moves. Take off those armor on kill mods and put on headshot damage mods for an additional 30% headshot damage. That plus the Memento's red core and 30% weapon damage from the Memento will probably give you all the juice that you need. But if you still need power, what I would do is not take off the skill tiers. I would add more headshot damage and remove those skill damage secondary attributes. Remember, the most important part of this hybrid build is your one-shot chain kill capabilities. So whatever moves you decide to make, don't penalize the build by removing that capability. And then another alternate is to the chest piece. You could run a Bellstone chest piece and get some armor regen just to complement the armor on kill on the build. It's not a bad idea at all, but you're probably going to want to maintain your skill tier. So you'd be looking for one that had Headhunter, headshot damage, skill damage, and then roll on a skill tier to that Bellstone. That's sort of a hard one to farm. A Wyvern chest piece would be pretty easy. So you'd be looking for a Wyvern that already comes with a skill tier. Wyvern gives you 10% skill damage, and then you'd want headshot damage and skill damage, which is not hard to come by, I'd imagine, and then get Headhunter on your chest piece. So don't lose Headhunter on your chest piece. That's the moral of that story. So even though this is a skill build and we have so much dedicated to the skills, that's because marksman rifle builds are really strong. And so that allows us to swing a lot of damage to our skills without losing our headshot kill, chain kill capabilities. My point is, although it's a hybrid skill build, your primary weapon is still the most important. That being said, once you get out there, if you have a hard time chain killing, you're probably missing out on a mechanic. Remember, start out with your TAC 50 or your Nemesis to proc Headhunter and then switch back to your White Death. If you don't, if you start with the White Death, you're gonna have to put out multiple shots to get that chain killing going. And then there's a sequence of enemies that you would prefer to kill to reach that maximum damage potential of the Headhunter chest piece, which is fine. That's the traditional way to use the Headhunter chest piece, but it's also the slower way. Let's just get to the point and jump straight to our strongest ability. This is a really fun build and a great way to get into sniping as well, because there's not a lot of pressure on your sniping because you have skills that are distracting the enemies and frankly do a better job than the decoy because they have a longer duration than the decoy does, and they actually can kill. So here's a couple of quick tips. One, at first, don't try to shoot the same target that your skills are attacking. The reason why is the NPCs act kind of sporadic when being attacked by skills. They're doing cartwheels, they're really jittery, so it can be really difficult to land those headshots, but it's a very temporary problem. And that's because once you activate Determined, you don't need to go for headshots anymore. You can land body shots. So it's only when you need to land that critical headshot, just don't focus on the same guy your skills are. Another tip, if you're underpowered and let's say you don't have any ammo for your TAC 50 and maybe you don't have the Nemesis, you can use your skills to weaken an enemy and then take that headshot kill. So if that enemy has a higher health pool, then what you can one-shot kill without Headhunter, your skills can cut him down to size in a matter of seconds. Another tip is there are targets in every engagement that you don't really want to take out right away. And that's because they can take away or break your Headhunter chain killing capabilities. For example, enemies with helmets or tech, enemies without heads. So if you use your Headhunter stack on them, which you do anyways at some point, you're gonna break your chain killing capabilities and then have to restart the mechanic to get yourself back up to full potential. It's not a big issue, but you have the luxury with this build to not have to shoot at those targets at all because you have your skills. So you can turn your skills onto maybe that really heavy chunga or that piece of tech that you just don't wanna waste your chain killing capabilities on. Let your skills take care of them. You focus on everybody else. Speaking of that, I got a really good question when I was running Roosevelt Island in a 4-man group, and somebody asked, hey Tux, what are you gonna do at the boss stage with those 2 aerial drones? Because, you know, snipers don't do really good against aerial drones. And that's actually easy. Just don't even worry about it. They're not the only targets out there. There's a lot of enemies to take out. A lot of non-elite enemies, as a matter of fact. There's a lot of red guys running around there. Very easy to kill with a sniper build. So let your team focus on the aerial drones in those instances, or let your teams focus on the guy that you are not proficient at killing with the sniper build. Maybe it's a chunga, maybe it's some sort of weird boss, and you work on everybody else. There's usually an answer to those situations if you just think outside the box. So if we get to District Union Arena, for example, the final end boss is only going to take backpack damage and headshot damage for the most part, unless you're doing something tricky. So what you do in that case is really not a problem. You put on the Demolisher Firefly and use it to break his chain, and then switch your other skill to Riot Foam. Don't worry about the duration of the Riot Foam, but you can have a ton of it because of your 6 skill tiers. And the Riot Foam just keeps him disrupted while your allies are wailing on his backpack to destroy it. You also can wail on that backpack using your Nemesis, which is very effective against aggro. And then once his backpack is broken, just repeat all of that and then turn your Nemesis onto his head, taking big chunks of his health.
Son of a bitch, it actually worked.
All right, Bandidos, I hope you love this build. It's definitely outside the box, but it's one to try. So tell us, what's your favorite hybrid in the game right now in Season 2? Share for the community down in the comments below. Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is TuxedoBandido, and this was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
Follow me.
I get it.